day was really full on, like ridiculously so. We had people running up, and Emma and I were both really overwhelmed by it. And the next 2 days, so yesterday and today, have sort of been a slow sort of pace, but sort of larger quantity orders, but not as many. So, and ones where you're able to spend a bit more time chatting with the customer, finding out about their stalls. In terms of product range, the fake furry animals and the Jane Jenny cups and plates, they have been the biggest sellers so far for us. But all the products have been really well received. Like, there's not been one product where I've thought, it hasn't been well received. So everything's been really good. And I think the animals probably because they're just that little bit different. Yeah. I'm a retailer, like I've had a retail store for 6 years, and I attend most of the shows in the beginning, but then in probably the last 4 years I totally cut back. I just didn't have the time to be going to do the big fairs, and the only fair that I would always do was Life Instyle, mainly just the Sydney one because I'm a Sydney girl. But then so I sort of thought when we started this business, I thought, when no other show ever even came into account, it was always Life Instyle. Like, if I was to do a trade show, it was only going to be this one. It's a small one, but it's not too small. It has that design element. It's nicely laid out. There's good store holders, like other ones that we represent in our store as well. So I thought it was the best one for what we were doing. Made590 was opened 6 years ago, and the original idea was to sort of represent, it's in Newtown in Sydney, and the original idea was to represent sort of small-time designers sort of just starting out, mainly clothing, but lots of knickknacks and gifts and giftware. And then I started to go to Japan a fair bit to buy fabrics and so on, and then I fell in love with all their quirky bits and pieces. So it sort of evolved, and then we started to get in ranges from across the country, from the US, UK, China, all sort of fairly sort of small-time contemporary artists and designers, and we just started selling all their bits and pieces, from clothing to plates to cups to the animals, and we just sort of grew from there. My background, I started my business when I was 18, and I started at Paddington and Bondi Market selling t-shirts that I screen printed, because my background's in screen printing. I guess that's my trade. And then so I did Paddington Bondi. Then I worked with Yoshi Jones, who's got a store in Sydney as well, and we designed together for about 4 years. And then I decided, I was driving along King Street one day down the south end. Our little shop was Fillets, and it was a shop that I'd been in love with forever, just this corner shop. And I thought, I'll ring up, I'll see what the rent is. And I got my dad, who's an accountant, to do the figures, and he was like, you don't need to make that much money to pay the rent. And we literally just opened the doors with all my friend's stuff and all my stuff, and it was opened on no money, no stock, and it just grew and grew and grew. So that's my background. Yeah, well, I go to Japan once or twice a year, and I kind of just shop. I don't kind of go to the trade fairs, I kind of shop and then I hunt them down. We've got a couple of new ones, some tote bags, which we've been in talks with, but they kind of wanted to see how this trade show went for me and then go from there. So always in my store, in my retail store, we'll always have brand new stuff. I like to test it first and then go into the distribution of it, because I'd like to have a product that I'm sure of before I start distributing it. And so there's probably about 4 products that we'd like to have for the next trade show.